Today I'm going to explain the usefulness of VCRs for retro gaming. And I'm going to play a certain game system for the first time in my life. As a collector and reviewer of old video games, I need a VCR, and it's for two reasons. Number one is because I have two game systems that require the use of a VCR in order to play them. That's the Action Max and the Viewmaster Interactive Vision. Most people are unaware that some game systems used VHS tapes as games. These systems are a fascinating footnote in gaming history, but not worth playing today. But I have them in my collection, so I might as well explore them a little bit. Later on in this video, you'll see me play the Viewmaster for the first time ever. Reason number two, I need a VCR to convert RF to composite. Let me explain. I'm a game reviewer, so when I need footage from an old game system, I capture that footage with my laptop. Most of the old systems output in the format called RF, something that does not plug directly into my laptop. However, if I attach the RF cord to a VCR, the VCR can convert the signal to composite. I can then split that signal into two signals and plug one into my Dazzle device, which goes to my computer, and the other into the TV. It's complicated, but the bottom line is that a VCR can be used as a cheap RF to composite converter. By the way, with this type of connection, I could actually record the footage to a VHS tape, but there's no reason to do that. I've had a VCR in my gaming setup for a long time. However, it's recently decided to start eating the tapes, damaging them. This Action Max game got damaged. Not a fun thing for a collector. I tried to repair the VCR, but it continued to damage tapes. So I'm gonna buy a couple of used VCRs. One to replace the bad one, and one for safekeeping. I went to the thrift store, and sure enough, they had some VCRs. Some of them looked cheap, and were made by brands I never heard of before, and some of them looked very old. So I sought out the ones that looked modern and were manufactured by companies I trusted. I ended up buying one from Toshiba and one from Zenith. They both look high quality and modern in terms of VCRs. Neither one of these VCRs came with a remote, but usually you can still use them effectively using the buttons on the front. First thing I did was clean them up on the inside. They weren't really that dirty though. I've chosen to use the Toshiba one in my setup, but before I integrate it into the setup, I'm going to run two tests. Test 1 is a gameplay recording test. I got the Atari 2600 hooked up to the VCR. The result was very good. I was able to play and record at the same time. Test 2 is to play the Viewmaster. As I mentioned before, it's a VCR-based game system, and it's the first time I've ever tried to turn it on. So I hooked everything up and hit the on button, but then I noticed the light went off. So actually it was already on before I hit the button. Then I hit play on the VCR. I got some sound, but no picture. I messed around, but I could not get it to work. I then looked up the manual online and discovered that I had one cord connected to the wrong part of the VCR. Hooking up a VCR-based system is extra complicated since there's three major components: the system, the VCR, and the TV. It's almost like a puzzle. So I switched that cord to the other port, turned it on again, and hit play.
Yellow stripes on the side of your screen are starting points for some interactions in this program. To replay an interaction, rewind or fast forward to these yellow stripes, then start play again.
Everything worked as it should. So now I'm going to begin the process of integrating this VCR and game system into my setup. Something that takes a while to do. I'll finish this video with some gameplay footage. See you around.
And then push the green button. That's how you make all of them disappear. Now the trick is, you gotta get those ghosts before the candles are all gone. Well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead. give him some help. Oh, I can't do it alone. So you'll have to help us. Just wait for that old stove door to open, and then push the green button to shoot the coal into that stove over there. That's the only way to get more points, which are nice to have at the end of the game. All right, now you want to get that coal in the stove before the shovels disappear. Now, ready there? Go. For you for playing so well. Now let's see how many points you've added to your score.